everyone, the Bina Fam channel.
What up, what up, what up?
We're excited to do our next video. If you were wondering, I did just cut 12 inches off of my hair. Going full mom mode for baby 3.
And I love it. I love it.
And so today we decided to make our next video about 5 challenges that interracial couples face, particularly us. Can't generalize that all couples face that. And then kind of what we do to navigate those waters and how we like to correct them, I guess, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, overall, it's just going to be kind of our experiences and things that we've done to be able to really work through that. Super excited to get into it. I'm sure that other interracial couples will be able to really resonate with a lot of things that we have to say.
Right.
All right. So number one is not belonging to the group. So not belonging to the white group or not belonging to the black group. It's always interesting for us and being able to navigate where do we belong and who do we interact with, and trying to understand what the challenges are on the black side and still trying to be sensitive to that, but then what are the challenges on the white side? And so it's been something that we've really had to navigate and struggle through.
Right.
I mean, we've been married for 7 years, and I don't know that we've done this perfectly, but some of the things that we've done that really helps in this situation is finding common interests regardless of your race, finding things that people enjoy. So like sports or cooking or kids or whatever it is, just finding ways to be able to resonate with someone and look beyond their race, because the reality is that we had to do that in order for us to be in a relationship. And so it's really important that we do that with everybody else that we're in a relationship with. And not everyone's going to resonate with our relationship or the path that we chose. And so the reality is, for us, at least the way we look at it, is if there's people of other races that do not agree or align to what it is that we've decided to do, then they just don't need to be in a relationship with us.
They're missing out.
And that's right. But and so that's kind of what we've done to navigate it. Or being deemed sellouts in our different races, but we've decided to just choose people who resonate with what it is that we're trying to do and have like and similar interests with us, regardless of their race.
Right. And number 2 kind of piggybacks off that same thing. We are in a unique situation with extended family dynamics just because we are the first on both sides of our family to marry outside of our race. So Steven is kind of the token black guy, if you will, on my side of the family, and I'm the token white person on his side of the family. And I think it's actually one of my most favorite things about our marriage, because I think that it has changed both of our families drastically and opened their eyes to so much more culture and so much just helps them to become more open-minded and just create a better environment for that type of thing. And it's been really great. And 7 years in, it's definitely easier to navigate. So that's probably something that time has done. When we first got together, not that there was anything crazy going on. It was just different, right? It was unexpected probably from both sides of our family. And now that they see our kiddos and they see us together, they know that we have a strong marriage. I think things have really improved, and I'm really thankful for that dynamic. And I think some advice would just be to grab it by the horns and just be willing to share the ins and outs of your relationship with them. And kind of similarly with the friend groups, if it's something they're not okay with, that's on them, and it's not on you to try to persuade someone that your partner is good enough, especially based off something as like race. That's insane. So to me, it's not a huge loss to lose somebody if they're not willing to accept your marriage or be excited about your marriage. Especially family members, it can be a little harder to let go of those relationships, but let go of them. They don't matter if they're not okay with a partner because of your race. That's not a person you want to be around anyways.
Absolutely. You said it's spot on. I think that for us, and we'll get into this in a couple of other different ones. But being able to understand and navigate that, and be able to have grace on both sides. Like you're new to them and they've never seen or experienced you, for example, for me coming into their family, and being able to just trust that the things that your wife or your spouse saw in you, those family members will see in you. And again, if that's happening, then you're gonna continue to have a deep and intimate relationship with your family members from the other race. But if it's not happening, at the end of the day, this is my first priority, and so I want to make sure that shows to be true across the board. All right, number 3, and this one is near and dear to my heart: deciding where to raise a family. So right now, most of you guys know this, but if you don't know, we live in Parker, Colorado, which is 30 minutes south of Denver. And to be frank, Colorado is not the most diverse place to live. And so that's definitely something that we've had a lot of conversation about in regards to having diversity, so our kids really don't feel like they're one way or the other, and just like don't teeter into, well, I feel comfortable playing with this white girl because that's what I know, but I don't feel comfortable playing with this black girl. And so that's something that we continue to talk about. Jill and I met in Austin, Texas, which is our most favorite city ever. Arguably one of the most awesomest and diverse cities that I've ever been to. And so being able to do that, obviously that allows for our relationship to thrive. But Jill's from Colorado and we want to be close to family. And so that's more or less why we've moved here. And so right now, we're in a place where, as of right now, we're living here, trying to be very intentional about taking the kids and trying to take them to Austin every year. We go to Austin at least once a year. Take them to Houston, which is where I grew up, which is a very diverse area. But long term, we need to really understand, and we don't really know and haven't fully navigated this yet, but we really need to understand what that looks like to get that diversity. I want Ellery and Asher, our kids, to be able to grow up in a place where they see both sides, where they see other mixed children, and we don't really know what that looks like yet. And Denver is growing, and we are seeing a little bit of diversity, but that is a conversation that we're continually having because that's super important. So right now, that again it's a challenge that we're dealing with. We haven't fully solved that, and maybe we'll have a full-on video of kind of how we determine the right cities and what criteria that looks like down the road. But as of right now, what we do in this time is to try to get them to be able to go to cities and go to places and go into the city more and to Denver, to be able to continually experience more and more diversity and more, so they can see people that look like their dad, and not just be in a situation where, and not just be in a situation where they only see what's currently here.
Right. I think we, like Steven said, we met in Austin, and then we started our marriage in Houston. Then we lived in South Africa, and then we lived in St. Louis. So all of these places have tons of diversity. So this was actually not something we ever had to navigate earlier in our marriage because it just sort of naturally happened with where we were living, because of Steven's work and a variety of things. So that was something that we kind of faced with moving back to Denver that I guess I probably didn't realize how big of a thing that was going to be until we got here. And then I really did feel it, especially for my kids. Like I want them to feel like they belong anywhere and everywhere. And not that we've had crazy situations where they feel like they don't belong, but I want them to see people that look like them and don't look like them, and just a variety. So that is a big thing for us to navigate in the future. And I'm excited because we're accustomed to moving. So I do feel like probably in the future that might be in the cards again, but we'll see. For now, we're just making the most of where we are and being close to family and taking advantage of all of that. So, yeah. Number 4. Okay, number 4 is kind of one, whenever I travel alone or without Steven with the kids, I'm often asked where they're adopted from, or how the adoption process was, just different things, because I have bleach blonde hair and blue eyes, and they have brown skin, brown hair, brown eyes. So people, are still set in their times. And when this first happened, I did probably take it a little too seriously. And now I've really chosen to navigate life with a place that people are coming from a place of ignorance and not always hatred. So trying to educate people more than be offended. Just explain, oh, well, here's a picture of my husband, and that's what mixed children come out looking like, or things like that. And I think naturally they usually feel bad enough when you say something like that. And it's not about making someone feel bad, like I said. It's just, be more mindful before you ask silly questions. And yeah. And then number 5, this is the real struggle out there. You might even notice it in our video, who knows? Getting the lighting right for an interracial family and photos is tough. Finding good photographers when you want good family photos that can navigate that lighting, man, it is hard. But you can do your research. You can buy a ring light. I will say the phones are getting so much better at being able to edit them, getting rid of shadows, but not getting rid of so much where I'm glowing, and not keeping so much that he is just fallen into the abyss. So we try our very best to edit our photos. That's our biggest key. Editing later, and as much light as possible when you're taking photos, taking videos. That is the solution. We've also found with professionals, so if you're planning a wedding or newborn photo shoot, anything like that, if you find someone, I found a photographer who is an interracial relationship, and they know what they're doing. So yeah. If you can find that out there, that is your key. That's your key ingredient, because they already know how to do that. They already know. Maybe look through their old portfolios, see if they've taken any of interracial relationships, especially the different pigments that there are, the different levels of melanin. So look at that, see if you can find that, and it'll be great.
Yeah, and I'll just say that our wedding photos, and we'll probably have a couple of pictures in the video, but our wedding photos were amazing. Our photographer did a really great job of capturing both us and then my family and then Jill's family, and those are probably some of my favorite photos. That and some of our newborn photos. So definitely there are some professionals out there. We did do a lot of research to do that. And maybe if you want to get any information about that, or kind of what we looked for, we can start a conversation in the comments. So make sure you comment on the video below.
So thank you for tuning in.
Yep. So that was 5 challenges that we're navigating through in an interracial relationship. Love to continue the conversation. Again, spend some time in the comments, comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes.
Join us on this journey as we are trying to just share our lives, talk about who we are, what we care about, and how we navigate life as an interracial couple here in the United States of America.
That's right.
All right.
Thank
Love y'all.
you. Bye.